The desert stretched endlessly, a barren sea of red sand and broken stone, where winds howled like forgotten ghosts. Beneath that wasteland, buried under centuries of dust and silence, lay an abandoned alien base. Its walls were cracked, its power dim, its halls echoing with memories of a war long past. Few even remembered it existed, and fewer still dared to tread inside. But one man had come here to die. He was a war veteran, his body broken, his soul heavy with the weight of battles no one sang about anymore. His name was Darius Kane, a soldier from Earth who had fought in a dozen conflicts across the stars. He had seen friends burned alive in starship wreckage, watched comrades torn apart by alien claws, and buried too many dead beneath alien skies. His chest bore scars where plasma rounds had nearly ended him. His left leg was more metal than flesh. And his heart was tired. The galaxy no longer needed him. Peace treaties had been signed, empires had redrawn their borders, and the war that had once defined him was reduced to footnotes in history. He had no family left, no home to return to, no cause worth fighting for. So he spent the last of his credits buying the deed to this forgotten alien base. It was a hollow shell, a ruin buried in silence, but it suited him. Here, away from the noise of the living, he would wither and finally rest. For weeks, he wandered its dark corridors, each step echoing through chambers carved from obsidian and steel. Faded banners of an alien empire hung in tatters. Holograms flickered with half-dead images of alien kings and alien queens who once ruled through conquest and fear. Darius ignored them all. He found a chamber near the heart of the base, set down his pack, and made a home among the ruins. He told himself he had come here to fade away quietly, but in truth, some part of him hoped the silence would grant him peace. But silence has a way of holding secrets. It began with whispers, voices in the static of dead terminals, echoes that did not belong to him. Then came the lights, faint glimmers in corridors he had not walked. The base was waking. And with it came the sense that he was not alone. One night, as the dying suns of the desert set fire to the horizon, he heard footsteps. Not the scuttle of vermin or the creak of collapsing metal, but soft, deliberate steps. He reached for his rifle out of instinct, the soldier in him never fully dead. And then he saw her. She stepped from the shadows like a vision of starlight. Her robes shimmered silver and obsidian, her crystalline eyes glowing faintly gold. Her presence was commanding, yet fragile, like fire contained in glass. She was no ghost. She was alive. "You should not be here," she said, her voice carrying the weight of centuries. "This place is not yours." Darius froze, his heart thundering in his chest. "I bought it," he said hoarsely. "Abandoned property. No one claimed it." She looked at him as if his words were a joke. "No one claimed it because it was mine." The truth hit him like a blow. This was no scavenger or wanderer. She was the real owner. The last heir of the alien empire whose banners still clung to the walls. An alien princess. For a long moment, they simply stared at one another. A human war veteran, scarred and weary, and an alien princess, regal and radiant, standing in the ruins of a kingdom long forgotten. Darius lowered his rifle. "If it's yours, then I'll leave." He meant it. He had no fight left in him. This had been his grave, nothing more. But her gaze softened, and something in her expression stopped him. "You came here to die," she said quietly. His throat tightened. "And how would you know that?" "Because I know the eyes of the broken," she whispered. "I have seen soldiers crushed beneath lies. I have seen humans called savages so that my people could justify chains. I know the weight you carry." Her words struck deeper than any blade. He had thought himself alone in that pain, a relic of wars no one remembered. But she saw him. Truly saw him. Over the days that followed, she returned. Sometimes she spoke of the past, of her father the alien king, her mother the alien queen, and the lies that bound their empire. She confessed how humans had been branded as beasts, savages, so that her people could enslave them without guilt. She spoke of rebellions, of betrayals, of how she had chosen exile rather than marry a suitor chosen by the crown. At first, Darius resisted her presence. He was a soldier, not a companion. But slowly the silence between them turned into conversations. He told her of Earth, of comrades long dead, of battles that had left scars deeper than flesh. She listened, and in her crystalline eyes he found no judgment, only understanding. And somewhere in that exchange, something began to stir in him. A heartbeat he thought long dead. But the galaxy does not forgive so easily. News spread that the alien princess had been found, living in the ruins of her empire. The alien king and queen, her parents, demanded her return. They sent emissaries cloaked in silk and steel, their voices honeyed with lies. They told her the human was dangerous, unworthy, a savage who had deceived her. They urged her to come home, to marry the suitor chosen for her, to forget this ruin and this man. She refused. The alien queen's eyes flashed with fury. You would bind yourself to a human. You would shame our bloodline with marriage to a beast. The alien king thundered, he is broken. He has nothing. And you would throw away your crown for him. But the princess stood firm, her voice ringing like steel. He is no beast. He is strength unbroken. He is truth where you have built lies. And I will marry no one else. Darius said nothing. He was not a man of crowns or thrones. Yet when assassins came in the night, it was his scarred hands that defended her. When lies spread through the alien courts, it was his unyielding spirit that proved them false. And with each trial, the bond between them deepened. He had come here to die. Instead, he had found something worth living for. On the day of reckoning, when the alien king and queen stood before their people, declaring their daughter mad and her human unworthy, the princess defied them openly. She stood beside Darius in the courtyard of crystal spires, her voice clear, her heart unshaken. They called him a savage, she said, her hand entwined with his. But he is my future. My strength. My husband.